Hello. I'd like to talk about how advertising really works. And I mean how advertising really works because some of the assumptions that people make about how advertising works are, in my opinion, wrong. So, first of all, let's think about what advertising does to a business. I think the general assumption is that the role of advertising is to increase sales, and there's some truth in that. Um, Advertising, when you first turn it on, should increase a brand's sales. But in fact, for most brands, particularly mature brands that have been advertising for some time, the main role of advertising is not necessarily to increase sales, it's to maintain sales in the face of factors that might work against the brand. So if you think, for example, about the Kevin the Carrot campaign for Aldi, which is referred to in your text, the role for advertising at Christmas there was to defend Aldi's market share against rival Christmas advertising, because Christmas is a time when Aldi typically lost market share. So in a sense, really, advertising plays a defensive role there. The other thing that advertising can do is not only increase sales or maintain sales, but increase and maintain margins by defending prices. This is a role for advertising that is often overlooked, but it's possibly where some of the biggest profit gains can be made. So this is the first part of my model of how advertising works. Advertising increases or maintains sales and or margins. And how does it do that? By slightly increasing the chance that people will choose your brand. Again, this is not exactly how people talk about advertising most of the time. There's a lot of talk about increasing engagement, converting customers to your brand, increasing brand loyalty. In fact, advertising is a much weaker force than that. Consumers don't tend to be strongly loyal to brands, and often they will use a portfolio, a repertoire of brands. So it's not a question of converting them, it's a question of slightly increasing your market share by slightly increasing the chance that people will choose you. Again, think about the Kevin the Carrot example. It's not about getting people to do all their Christmas shopping at Aldi, but it's just slightly increasing the chance that people will do some of their Christmas shopping at Aldi, rather than doing it all at some of the bigger supermarkets that people tend to use at that time of the year. Well, how do you do that? Well, the main way you do that is by making the brand easy to think of and easy to buy. What Ehrenberg Bass call increasing mental and physical availability. Now, that's a question of, it's more than increasing brand awareness. It's making sure that the brand comes to mind easily and quickly and ideally first in all relevant buying situations. Again, think about Aldi. Everyone knows that Aldi is a supermarket. Everyone knows that one can buy one's Christmas food and drink at Aldi. The problem was that Aldi wasn't the immediate choice, the supermarket that came to mind immediately when you think about doing your Christmas food shop. So it's not about awareness, it's about mental availability. And the easy to buy bit, what Ehrenberg Bass call physical availability, is about removing barriers to purchase. Now, in the text, you'll see that as well as doing brand building advertising, Aldi ran price promotions and offers. And these are one way to remove barriers to purchase. Now, at the same time as you increase mental and physical availability, you want to create positive feelings and associations with the brand so that when the brand comes to mind, people feel good about it. Again, think about Aldi. Many people might have felt that Aldi was not a very Christmassy place to shop. It didn't have a strong association with Christmas. It didn't have a Christmassy feel about it. And that's what the Kevin the Carrot ads really do well is to, through regularly running ads that associate Aldi with Christmas and give the Christmassy feel, they make sure that when Aldi comes to mind, it does feel like a Christmassy place. Now, that's very different from the approach to advertising that says you need convincing and persuasive messages. Those Kevin the Carrot ads don't really say anything explicit about Aldi. They're not telling you explicit things about food quality or prices or the range of products or any other rational reason to choose Aldi at Christmas time. They work on an emotional level. And this is, I think, probably one of the most important revolutions in how we feel, how we think about advertising. It's a revolution I think Peter Field and I had played a big part in bringing about in the marketing industry. Brand advertising, at least, is not primarily about messages, it's about feelings and associations. Okay, so how do you create mental and physical availability, associations and feelings? Well, you need two things. The first is broad reach advertising that people find interesting and enjoyable. That's where you get the mental availability. That's where you get the feelings and associations. Broad reach, because you need to talk to anyone who might buy your brand within the relevant time frame. So in the case of Aldi, that means anyone who's doing their Christmas shopping. It's really as broad as that. And notice that what I'm saying here is that the ads need to be interesting and enjoyable, not tightly targeted, not persuasive, but interesting and enjoyable. That's where creativity comes in. That's where you get the feelings and associations. And the other ingredient that you need working in tandem with that is targeted activation. That is communications and activities that are tightly targeted at people shopping now or very soon and intended to directly influence their behavior. This is the world of performance marketing and promotions. And that stuff needs to be relevant and useful, and that's how you remove barriers to purchase. In the case of Aldi, quite a lot of it was based around offers. So, advertising works by increasing and maintaining sales and margins, by slightly increasing the chance that people will choose you, by making the brand easy to think of, easy to buy, and creating positive feelings and associations when it does come to mind. And you do that through a combination of broad reach ads that people find interesting and enjoyable, and targeted activation that they find relevant and useful. Okay, I hope that's useful. Good luck with your advertising.